Welcome to the Senior Zone,
where we connect older adults with the organizations and resources that serve them.
The Senior Zone's goal, while working with local and national partners, aims to educate, empower, enlighten, entertain, and engage older adults with the tools and information to stay healthy, happy, and secure.
Great guests, health tips, upcoming events, and useful information.
So get ready to take notes
and have some fun.
It's now time
for the Senior Zone.
Good morning, and welcome to the Senior Zone. I am your host, Sean Perry, and as always, I am so humbled, truly humbled, and blessed and fortunate for this privilege to come into your home, into your church, your car, your community center, or wherever else you might be listening to the Senior Zone this morning. Here on the Senior Zone, it's our self-imposed mandate to discover the topics and discuss the issues and concerns facing seniors today, uniting seniors 50 and up, yes, 50 and up, with tips and directions to senior programs and services, tools and resources, events, advice, and cultural tidbits from time to time. Here on the Senior Zone, we hope to inspire, impact, influence, and improve the quality of life for older adults everywhere. Why? For no other reason, simply because we care. The calling number for today's show is 240-638-5430. That's 240-638-5430. And for our tech-savvy seniors out there, you can follow us online at myspiritdc.com. That's myspiritdc.com. Well, coming up in just a few short minutes, we're going to hear from our friends in print, Mr. Stu Rosenthal. He is standing by. He is the editor and publisher of the Beacon newspaper. We're going to talk about the current March issue and several interesting stories contained in this month's publication. In our second segment, he is a rising figure in D.C. politics and a friend to the Senior Zone. I'm talking about Ward 4 Councilmember Brandon Todd of the District of Columbia. He will be here to share and discuss current legislation that's before the council that we should all hear and be sensitive to. We're going to talk about senior-friendly legislation that's up for a vote right now in the council. In our last segment, we have a first-time discussion here on the Senior Zone. We're talking about near-death experiences. Don't know where it's going to go, but we're going to have that discussion anyway. Should be very interesting to say the least. And we'll close out the show as we always do with birthdays of the week as well as news and announcements. But as I always do, very customary here on the Senior Zone, thanking those that allow us to do what we do here on the Senior Zone each and every week. I'm talking about our sponsors. The first up is DC Office on Aging. Right at Home follows them. Lincoln Heritage. We also want to thank Legal Counsel for the Elderly, AARP, and Stewart Funeral Home over on Benning Road for today's show and affording us, again, the privilege to do what we love to do here on the Senior Zone. And that's keeping our seniors informed, engaged, and inspired to live full lives with dignity and respect.
Many of us realize we have more yesterdays than tomorrows. Have you given thought to the pre-planning of your life's final celebration? Consider giving Stewart Funeral Home of Washington, D.C. the privilege of guiding you along the path, leading to a meaningful, respectful, caring, and affordable service, because your life should be remembered. Stewart Funeral Home can guide you through the latest funeral and cremation options while providing old-fashioned experience with a level of detail that comes from a hometown provider. Isn't your life's final celebration worth pre-planning? Let Stewart Funeral Home be your guide. Call them today at 202-399-3600. That's 202-399-3600. Stewart Funeral Home, located in Washington, D.C. at 4001 Benning Road Northeast. Call them now at 202-399-3600.
Good morning. We are back. This is the Senior Zone, and I'm your host, Sean Perry. And with me now is Mr. Brandon Todd. He is council member of Ward 4 in the District of Columbia. Good morning, Councilmember Todd.
Good morning, Sean. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I know you are an extremely busy man, so I won't waste time with some of the mumbo jumbo, and I just want to get right into it. Is that okay with you?
That's perfectly fine with me.
Okay. You have been an outspoken supporter of seniors, Councilmember Todd, and I know you've advanced several pieces of legislation to support the senior community. Your most recent legislation is called the Senior Strategic Plan Amendment Act of 2018. Can you talk about what that legislation entails and why it's so important?
Absolutely, and that's a great question, Sean. And I've heard from so many seniors, from your listeners, from people all across Ward 4 in the city who are aging. And I thought that it would be very important that our government undergo the creation of a strategic plan for DC seniors. And what that bill would do, it would require the DC Office on Aging to develop a 10-year strategic plan. And that will serve as a long-term blueprint for managing and responding to the growth of the district's senior population. As you know, we have over 100,000 seniors in the District of Columbia. Baby boomers are aging every day, so we're adding to that number each and every day. And what that plan would look at is everything from housing, transportation, employment, education, and elder abuse, just to name a few things.
Yeah. I also, and that's good. I'm glad you included what that legislation includes there. Was there a need to, incorporate this now or present this now, Councilmember Todd? Was the vision not clear enough already in place?
Well, I think that our government has made a number of strides. As you know, we have the age-friendly DC task force that is currently in place. But what I really wanted to do is for us to dig a little deeper and look at a number of areas where I think we can perhaps do a little bit more. I hear from seniors every day who want employment. They maybe have been retired for 10 years, 10 days in some cases, or 15 years, but they want to bridge the gap. And I think that our city has to focus, our government, we have to focus on how we can get seniors employed, whether it's within our government or whether it's working with the private sector to provide meaningful employment opportunities for some people who want to keep busy, but then for some people who really need the extra funds to make ends meet every single month.
Yeah,
Yep.
No, I was going to say, as you know, the senior population in the district or anywhere else is not a monolithic sort of group of folks that are just put out to pasture. It's a very diverse group of individuals. So yeah, you have to have a strategic plan that's a living and breathing, document. So I'm glad to see this before the council and see what comes out of it. I also understand that you have a bill that's been introduced, and I'm so glad that you've introduced this, that supports dental health for seniors. As you know, Medicare doesn't cover dental care. If you can, share more about that legislation.
Absolutely. So last year I introduced legislation that would, as you said, support the dental health of seniors. It's called the Senior Dental Services Program Act of 2017. And what that bill does is it establishes a grant program that will be operated from our district Department of Health, who will provide grants to dentists in the District of Columbia that would provide basic dental care for seniors over the age of 65. What the information tells us is that an estimated 70% of seniors lack or have limited dental insurance. As you said, Medicaid or Medicare doesn't necessarily cover dental work, and it's so critically important. That legislation has been marked up out of the Committee on Health. It's advancing to the full council, and I will be working diligently to secure the $500,000 needed to get that program up and running in the 2019 budget.
Yeah, that goes a long way. Speaking for the seniors on the street, I mean, that's a phenomenal, thing to do. I mean, it goes a long way in helping folks, towards better dental health, but that leads to, better or improvement in other chronic, ailments that one has as a result of poor dental care as well. So as you know, Medicare, they pretty much, they don't cover anything from the neck up. So I understand you've also introduced another bill to help seniors with the cost of hearing aids.
Yes, I hear from so many people who are having hearing loss issues, but when they go to buy a hearing aid, they realize the cost is upwards of $2,000 or $3,000 in some cases. And so I introduced legislation that would create a rebate of up to $500. What we heard at the hearing is that $500 may not be enough. So I'm working with my colleagues on the Council's Committee on Health to figure out if we want to make the rebate up to $1,000. That, it's going to be so critically important. And two things that I've been focused on in both of these pieces of legislation, the dental bill as well as this bill, is making sure that we are raising the income threshold. A challenge that I see for seniors, especially the people I've represented in Ward 4, but this challenge is all across the city, is that if you have two income retirees who maybe works for D.C. government or federal government, they may make just over the income limit. And that doesn't make them rich because they have to take care of a home, they have increasing medical costs. And so what I've done with this bill is to up the income requirements to participate. And that's something that I think we're going to have to look at all across our government, across government programs that support seniors, to figure out how we can expand them so that more DC seniors can take advantage of these critical programs.
Got you. Every now and then, Councilmember Todd, I'm watching the news like we all do. And, I will hear of an abuse case, or, just through my other interviews, I learn of other abuses all over the region. It's just not, indicative of the District of Columbia. It's all over the region, just widespread. So let's talk about, senior abuse and what can be done within the District of Columbia to mitigate, to lessen, seniors facing abuse. How can we prevent it?
Absolutely. And prevention, I think, is key. That's why I introduced the Elder Abuse Public Information Campaign Act of 2017 to help to educate first seniors, I think, is most importantly, but also to educate family members of what to look out for. Some people don't even realize what elder abuse is. So education is key, and that's why I'm very focused on that legislation. Our government has a number of things in place, working with the Office of the Attorney General, working with the Office on Aging. In 2015 or 16, I supported legislation that would help with senior fraud and elder abuse issues. But education, I think, is key, so that seniors even know what elder abuse is. A lot of them don't know. And so if we can educate our seniors and educate residents across the city to know what to look for to be able to support our seniors, I think we'll be much better off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about technology. My mother is one that she is not an early adopter. And so I use her as my petri dish, my science laboratory, as when I speak to other seniors out there. And I now know, as a result of seeing her go from, not even texting and emailing to now we're video chatting, and it's just opened up her world. And I want to bring that to other seniors that haven't adopted, technology. So let's talk about that a little bit, because, the pace is frantic out there, and you can easily get left behind, myself included. What can the district do to better bring seniors and technology together?
Absolutely. So we have the Office of the Chief Technology Officer, and they have a mobile technology van that goes all around our city to teach seniors about how to use technology. Not only seniors, they teach young people, middle-aged people, anybody who's interested in knowing. But that is a huge resource. So we'd be happy to connect you with them when you're having a Senior Zone event, to have them come out and support the seniors. I know how important it is for seniors to be connected. So last year, I hosted 4 technology training seminars along with Verizon, where we taught seniors how to use smartphones. phones, how to use a tablet, how to get on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and send text messages. I even gave the seniors present my personal cell phone number and told them when they get up and running on text to send me text messages. And they do exactly that. They'll text me if there's a pothole that they have. They'll text me if they need help reaching a government service. And so the more we can arm our seniors with the technology, I think the better off they'll be. My grandmother, she had a bad weekend because she couldn't get Facebook on her phone. Something's wrong with it. And she's like, I need Facebook. But that's how she knows exactly what's going on with me and, what's going on out in the world. And she still works, but Facebook really keeps her connected with family that's out of town. And so to the extent that we can provide our seniors with the useful technology to be able to interact with their physicians, their government, and friends, I think they'll be much better off.
Yeah, I'm on this mission, just throwing my 2 cents into the arena to really combat social isolation. That's my contribution to making this region a more age-friendly, environment. And one of the things that I do is our senior spa day, which I know that you're aware of. I would love to have Verizon and this senior mobile technology, these training workshops, incorporated there if we can, to the extent that we can. So, please have your folks contact, me so we can get that, up and running, there. Cause I'm just a big fan of technology and incorporating our seniors into that space as well. So thank you for what you do there. Let's talk about, real quick. We don't have much time, Councilmember Todd. Your State of Ward 4 senior event that you host every year. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So I've hosted 3 State of the Ward 4 senior addresses. I'll host my 4th one in October of 2018 this fall. And it's an opportunity for me to bring over 60 to 70 senior-focused organizations to talk about the work they do and the services they provide for seniors. But it's also an opportunity for me to discuss what we have gotten accomplished for seniors over the last year and where we're going in the next year. I regard my work for seniors as really some of the most important work that I do at City Hall. And so I use that event as an opportunity to inform the seniors, but also to take information back. And I invite all seniors, even if you don't live in Ward 4, please join us next October for our State of the Ward 4 senior address. And I'm proud to say that the Senior Zone is always represented at that event.
Hey, we love seniors here on the Senior Zone, for sure. And you know that, my spirit there. Real quick, I don't know if you mentioned breakfast and lunch at the State of Ward 4 senior event.
Oh yeah, we serve breakfast and we serve a hearty lunch. The menu is always fantastic. We get a local Ward 4 business to cater it for us, and we roll out the red carpet for the seniors. We provide entertainment, we provide games, we send them home with lots of goodies, lots of information on what the government is doing for seniors, because there's no shortage of programs, but it's really making sure we're getting the best bang for our buck, and that seniors are getting meaningful, comprehensive services from the government. That's my single focus.
And I appreciate it. Where can those that are listening and those that may not be listening, how can they become more involved with the concerns of seniors outside of, say, calling, your office or their council member's office?
Absolutely. I think getting involved with the Office on Aging, Ward 4 has a senior mini commission that they meet every single month. They actually meet this Thursday at 10 a.m. at the 4th District Police Station. But they are a group of seniors, and there are many commissions in every single ward of Washington. And they are a group of seniors who get together monthly to talk about the challenges that seniors face, and they make a number of recommendations to the Office on Aging. So that's a great way to get involved in making meaningful change for the senior population in the district. I'm always willing and ready and able to take feedback, take questions, take concerns. And if seniors are having a problem, I want them to call me. I always tell my seniors, don't go without. Please pick up the phone, because there's probably some way that I can help.
As I follow and track you on social media, you are the James Brown of D.C. politics.
Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that very much.
We've been speaking with Councilmember Brandon Todd of Ward 4 of the District of Columbia. Any last words, Councilmember Todd, before I have to let you go?
Well, no, thank you, Sean, for the opportunity, and thank you for the work that you're doing on behalf of seniors. And just know that in me, you have a partner, and I look forward to continuing to work with you over these next few years.
You have the head, sir. I have the heart. Together, we are a team.
That's right. We're a team.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Be sure to join us on our next broadcast.
Until then,
Live simply,
love generously,
care deeply,
speak kindly,
and leave the rest to God. Have a wonderful week, and God willing, the Senior Zone will be here for another informative and entertaining hour next Monday morning at 10 a.m.